Hello, this is Dr. Mewborn, and this is Religion, the Public Square. It's PM 4304. This is a 3-hour course in the spring semester of 2019. This class will go from January 22nd to May 22nd, and this is in the College of Mid-America. If you would like to be a part of the residential portion of this course, you can definitely come from 10 o'clock to 10:50, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at the dates that are specified in your syllabus in the class schedule section. Okay, and so it's good to be with you today. My name is Mikey Mewborn, and I am the Associate Dean of the College at Mid-America. I'm also the Campus Life Director. So it's a joy for me to be in this class with you. I'm excited about this journey that we have ahead of us. If you will, you can go ahead and print off a version of or a copy of the syllabus, and that way you'll have that with you at this time as we begin walking through the things that we need to focus on throughout this class. You can see one of the first things in your syllabus is some contact information for me. Again, there's my name, Mikey Mewborn, email address, mmewborn@mabts.edu. Cell phone number is there, 901-483-1396. You may or may not get me in a phone call, but you definitely can get me in any kind of text messaging. So make sure that you know about that. And of course, you can call or email for appointments at any time. So make sure that you know about that as well. I have an office there at Mid-America and would love to meet you if you do have any questions. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the course description for this class. It's an introduction to key issues connecting religion and political thought, such as the nature of government, the historic role of politics, and the relationship between religion and political issues. Special consideration is given to the relationship between church and states and the crisis of moral authority in American society. It's a great time to take this class because of the political climate around us. So as we jump into things like ethics and morality and the political realm in general, what does that look like? What does it look like for a Christian to be involved in those things? And so we're going to focus in on that. Course objectives. Number one, students will demonstrate an understanding of the biblical principles regarding the relationship of church and state. Number two, students will gain an understanding of the American constitutional system of government. Number three, students will analyze various legal and political issues currently affecting American citizens, especially those problems encountered by people of faith. And number four, students will demonstrate an ability to think critically through ethical and moral issues within government, political, and religious system. So you can see we've got a lot to cover, but at the same time, you've got a lot to work with when you're writing posts or you're writing this paper for this class. So much material that we'll have, daily material that you can use to be able to write this. Course requirements. The first thing that I will need from you is a syllabus signature page. Each student must read and understand the syllabus in its entirety. Furthermore, each student must sign the last page of this contract and submit to the professor by January 31st, 2019. That's Thursday, January 31st. Failure to do so will result in a 3% deduction of the student's final grade. So it's important that you get this to me. For our online students, if you will just do this, if you will simply go into the interactive forum, which is in Moodle, the online platform that we use for online classes, if you go in there and at the interactive forum in the right spot for this actual session or lesson, sometimes I'll call it, you go in there and you just post, I have read the syllabus in its entirety, and that way I can give you credit for that. Going on to the required reading, there's going to be 3 books that you will need to read, 3 textbooks that you will need to read or look at throughout this course. The one that you'll have to read in its entirety is Daryl Cornett's Christian America, ? Perspectives on Our Religious Heritage. Great book, wonderful insight, it'll bring about a lot of discussion, a lot of questions, a great book to look at. And then you'll become very familiar with Wayne Grudem's Politics According to the Bible, a comprehensive resource for understanding modern political issues in light of Scripture. So students must read pages 1 to 156 in that book. And then also as a resource, we will use Richard Beeman's The Penguin Guide to United States Constitution, a fully annotated Declaration of Independence, U.S. Constitution and amendments, and selections from the Federalist Papers. So make sure you know about that. When I am using scriptural references throughout this course. I'll be using the English Standard Version, and so just letting you know that I won't ask you to use that version, but I'm just letting you know up front what I'll be using. And anytime we write about scripture or we reference scripture, you can reference it in a lot of different ways, but I'll just need you to know and understand that we'll be focusing more on passages that pertain to the New American Standard Version or English Standard Version, King James Version, NIV, New King James, those types of versions. I stay away from certain versions that, of course, like the Message or things like that, as they're really not identifying with us and the school as much. So make sure that you know about that. All right. The next thing on our list is the attendance policy, class participation, and quizzes. This is important because when we look at class participation, and you can only get 9 absences per semester at the College of Mid-America. And so it's important that you don't even get close to that, because things can happen at any time. And so as online students, as you take this, it's very important that you follow the guidelines for what does it mean to attend this class. And so make sure that you know about that. And we're going to talk in just a little bit about posting online, because that's going to be a big part of your experience in this class. It's going to be a great way for us to interact with one another. And so you will know those types of things. Now, this is very important when we talk about attendance and taking things such as quizzes or exams. Exams will be given. There will be a midterm given as well as a final examination. They will not be comprehensive, or the final examination will not be comprehensive. It will be seen on your schedule, which is shown on the attached schedule of this syllabus. You are going to have class projects that are very important for you to do, of course, which is the class project is a 10-page paper, completed pages double-spaced, which will be from a topic just based on this class. All topics must be cleared by the professor. The student will write the research paper to conform to MLA style using the MLA handbook, 8th edition. You must have a minimum of 8 sources. A minimum of half of your sources must be books, so you at least have to have 4 books. You may only use credible scholarly journals and websites. You can pay attention to this. Wikipedia, personal websites, and blogs are not to be used as scholarly sources. Make sure that you know that. As with all papers for this class, you need to write with 12-point Times New Roman font. Of course, you can look at the bibliography in this to kind of get an idea of what you need to do. The paper must be original to the course, 10 full pages length. That means that your works cited page at the end should not be counted in the amount of pages that you've written for the actual the text for the writing of this course. So you need 10 full pages of text. That is your paper, and then the rest of it, and like works cited page, is another page. So make sure that you know about that. Any late papers will be penalized 5 points per day. This paper will be graded using the rubric on page 11 of this syllabus, and I'll stick to that rubric, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. The paper's worth 20% of the final grade. The next thing is the honor code. It is so important that no one plagiarizes in this class. Any work that is done where academic dishonesty or plagiarism is involved will be unacceptable with no chance for resubmission. Such violations will be ground for failure in the course. The student should read very carefully the student handbook for the seminary honor code. The next thing is the book review. Students will write a 3 to 5 page book review about the book, Christian America: Perspectives on Our Religious Heritage. The student should follow the guidelines of the book review worksheet in this syllabus, page 13, while using MLA style and formatting. Now, the next section is very important for everyone watching this video or online students. Students are required to post comments online for each class session. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because that's how we go through the class sessions. And this will be done for participation grades. Students should respond to both questions posted by the professor and respond to at least one post by another class member. Posting fewer than 3 times per week will result in a lower grade. You can see the weekly online discussions rubric on page 12. This is the way it works. I will post a lesson or a session or however that comes to you. When that comes out, you will receive in there a corresponding thread in your interactive forum. When you see that, it'll say maybe lesson one, question one. And then it'll say lesson two, there's the question for that. Lesson three, question for that. And what you'll do is you'll go in there and I will have posted a question and then you answer that question. Or you might have something else you just wanted to share, just kind of making a post there. And you need to do that for each class period. And so the way this works is that, let's say for instance, the class goes live on Tuesday and you're able to go and go into the link and watch the class. All right. Well, then what you're expected to do is watch that class and of course do the reading and then go into that thread and you will say and you will comment on the question that I've asked for that class. If you don't see a question and you're ready to comment on, you can feel free to comment. You don't have to wait for my question to come. I'm looking more for the comments that you make and the comments and responses that you make to other students. That's very, very important. So make sure you do those things. What I will do at the end of the week, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday class. At the end of the week, I will go back. I will look at all your responses. I will make sure that you've done them. And that's how I'll check attendance. So attendance will be based on you writing a post. So make sure that you do those things. That's very important. And if you will, write a post. It's about 3 to 4 lines. And then that way I've got enough information, know what you're thinking, know what you're talking about. You've put forth effort. And then, and if you will, you don't need to write 8 to 10 lines. Just write a few lines, maybe 3 to 4 sentences about it, and then we'll continue going from there, okay? Let's go ahead and look at late assignments. It's important that you get all your assignments due. You get them in when they are due. Late assignments will be penalized 5 points per day. So make sure that you know about that. Missed examinations. For your exams, here's the way it works. You will receive an exam. You will receive an exam or a time slot for your exam. And your exam will, let's say, be posted on a Tuesday. I will probably give you 2 to 3 to 4 days to take that exam. Within that period of time, you will only have 2 hours to take exam. And so let's say 2 hours. So you will have 2 hours to finish that exam. So once you start it, you've got 2 hours to complete it. And it's very important that you stick with that, all right? And so you will start the exam, complete it within that 2-hour period of time, but that has to take place within the allotted time that I give you. So make sure that you know that. You can't miss exams. The only way that we can change an exam is if you let me know prior, such as I'm going to be out of the country, I'll have no internet service, so I can't take the exam. So you're out of the country. What I'll do is I can give you a different time slot or open it up at a different time so that you can take the exam when you need to take it. But you will have ample time to take it within the 2 to 3 to 4 days, whatever it might be, to take the exam. So there shouldn't be any missed examinations. All right. Class grading. Very simple and straightforward. Participation grade, 15%. Midterm examination, 20% of your grade. Final exam, 20%. Paper, 20%. Assigned reading, 15%. And book review is 10%. When it comes to the grading, the student must earn full percentage point for each grade. So for this class, you need to, in order to get a 95, you have to get a 95. You can't get a 94.7 or 94.8. You have to get a 95. There's no rounding up in the school system. So make sure that you go for full credit in everything. All right. Course and syllabus modifications. All efforts will be made to follow the syllabus as specified. Circumstances, however, may necessitate changes to the syllabus or course schedule. The professor reserves the right to make syllabus modifications as necessary. So I don't expect making any changes for this class whatsoever, but in the case that I need to, I will let you know in advance and we will change things as we go, okay? Now let's go ahead and jump into, in page 5 of your syllabus, the class schedule. This is it's laid out very well, very easily. And what we do is we have our reading assignments on the right-hand side of the page. We have our topic and scripture text in the middle, and of course we have the dates. on the left there. And so you can see it laid out very easily for you how you're to do this class. And so I just encourage you, make sure that you read before the class starts, or stay up on the reading at least, because there's a lot to read in this class. And if you just stay up on it, it won't be very difficult at all. You see there there's the corresponding dates with what we're doing in the weeks. And definitely biblical principles will be one of our topics. We'll go into other things, talking about the book quite a bit, talk about the Constitution as we continue on. There's things like Bill of Rights. But you can see something here that's really good on the right-hand side of the class schedule with quizzes. And those quizzes are going to help us to stay, because they're going to help us to know the areas that will be tested, or that you'll be tested on later on during like a midterm examination. I'll be hinting on things that I'll be looking at for the quizzes. Midterm examinations on March the 7th. It's Thursday, March the 7th. Then after that, spring break, March 11th to the 22nd, which is a great long spring break. April the 11th, there's a quiz. And then you see on April 16th, book reviews will be due on that day. Quiz continues. Term papers will be due on May the 2nd. And then reading reports will be due on May the 16th. So these are things that are going on. Your final examination will be on Tuesday, May 21st. And so that's what's going on for this class, all right? Then the next thing you see as we continue is your selected bibliography, kind of some great resource that you can look at there to help you know what's going on in the world, and also keep you aware of how do you look at the world with everything going on, especially from a biblical worldview. What we see on page 11 is a grading rubric for papers. This is residential online classes. And so you can make 100 points in the paper. There's 4 different areas. You can make 25 points in each one. And so what I would encourage you to do is kind of focus in on editing your paper. Once you write a paper, it is very, very important to edit the paper. So that means I've written it, a rough draft, I'm going back and I'm working on it, I'm fixing it, I'm bettering it, doing the best I can for those types of things. And so that's going to help you with your presentation of ideas, your organization and flow, your research support, those types of things, MLA style, and then mechanics and all that type of stuff. All right, that's very, very important. And you can get 100% on your paper if you do everything just right. And then there is an online posting rubric for online students. And so that's this rubric that you can see that's on page 12 will help you see how I will break down your grades per post. Like I said, it'd be really good if you have a 3 to 4 line or 3 to 4 sentence post on your interactive form per class session. So there's 3 per week, so I'll need 3 of those per week. And so you're also going to need to respond to some other students in the same way. Okay. You see on page 13 a reading report. You're going to write your name in this. You're going to talk about how much you read. So this is a part of your syllabus, but for our online students, you're more than welcome to send me an email of what you've read, or you can send me a post in the interactive form of all that you've read. Syllabus signature page, I'll definitely need you to write me on that you've read the syllabus in its entirety. And then we look at the book review on page 13, and this explains how you do the book review. We will need identification, thesis, summary, evaluation, and interaction. All right, and so this is the course, Religion in the Public Square. It's a joy for me to be a part of this with you, being on this journey, and I'm just excited to see what we'll learn together through our interactive forum. And please feel free to email me if you have any questions pertaining to this class, whatever it might be. I'd love to speak to you about those things, okay? And have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.